We are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the issue at hand. It's been a while since I came up on my personal account and did the issue at hand segment. Today is a very special day for me because I'm going to be sharing with you guys the issue at hand today. Is not a negative issue, it's actually a good issue at hand. And the issue at hand today is my world of training and life coaching. Today is the day that marks where I'm no longer keeping this some best kept secret or something concerning myself, but I'm going to let the cat out the bag today concerning my world of training and life coaching, something that I wanted to share for a while. I had a conversation this morning. This is the year of being a quick responder. So if God speaks to you through your wife, through a dog, through a cat, through a donkey, through your leader, through whatever, this is the year of divine governance and glory. And part of that is being a quick responder, knowing when to act and to act quickly on certain things. And so today I'm going to be discussing my world of training and life coaching. And so I will introduce myself to you officially as the CEO and founder of Excellent You, a transformational coaching and consultancy business started last year by yours truly. It is about personal transformation, personal development, personal transformation, and also consultancy. Okay. And this came about um, last year officially, but it's something that I have been doing for over 15 years. Believe it or not, I started out doing trainings in church, in local church, in the local church that I was a part of, and in other churches. I've done trainings on St. Martin in one, two, three, four, about four churches that I can think of, or four or five churches on the island. And I've also done training in the small island of Saba um, years ago. And so being a trainer is something that's always been a part of my life. And so I decided to make it a business. And it is going well. It is going good thus far. I have not been out there with it. I wanted to give it a test run on the low. And so that's what I did. And I am happy to report that the testing that I did, the pilot that I did, it went really well. I started a pilot last year with a business client and got phenomenal results, and so decided to branch out and do more corporate work, more group work, bigger clients in different areas. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about my world of training and life coaching. I also became a certified, yes, and a lot of people say that, but I don't play with that. I became an actual certified um, goal setting and success life coach, NLP, certified practitioner, life coach, certified meditation um, instructor and practitioner, forgiveness, certified forgiveness life coach. So I went and I started investing money in not just doing the training, but becoming certified with certified boards. I'm about to go again and look for, and I'm about to go again into even a higher, more renowned certification for what it is that I am doing. It is what I was born to do, to train, to equip in the church and now outside of the church. And it has been an exciting journey thus far. What I want to share with us today is, especially for those of us watching that belong to the Church of Jesus Christ, because I'm appealing to you today in this introduction of myself as a CEO and founder of Excellent You. Okay, be excellent in your own universe. All right. And we use a particular model that God has given me, a C4 model that God has given me in building and in coaching and in training. And also my three core values being identification, empowerment, and transformation. And this is why I specialize in transformational coaching, you know, and that is a big claim and big shoes to fill, because I can work with you and coach you into being better or improving, but my grace and my training and my ability is for transformation. You started out this way and you end up this way, and that is done in three particular areas. Personal financial planning, not business. Personal financial planning is not the same as budgeting. Budgeting is a part of it, but what I deal with is the mindset. Okay. Changing your mind and your emotional state, bringing you, coaching you into a place of wholeness, a holistic approach of spirit, soul, and body, and getting you to be transformed in your mind in the area of personal financial planning, in the area of personal productivity. Okay. um, and there's a system that I use in order to do that, and also in spiritual wellness and well-being. Okay. And those things branch themselves out into different areas. Those are the three main niches that I deal with. Okay. But what I want to share with you is, what is, we hear everybody, like I like, how we like to say in St. Martin, something is fresh, something is new, a lot of different people start doing it. Okay, because it's trending. All right. But what is a life coach? Many of us might know what a trainer is. Okay. You have personal trainers in fitness. You have, if you belong to certain companies, okay, they bring in people to do corporate training. You have different people doing that on St. Martin as well. You have trainers for business, trainers for customer service, trainers for etiquette, etc. Okay, so most of us understand what a trainer is. Okay, but many of us don't understand what is a life coach. Okay, and what is the significance of a life coach, and what you can get from a life coach. A life coach is a type of wellness professional who helps people make progress, okay, in their lives in order to attain greater fulfillment. So the difference between a trainer and a life coach is that the life coach is goal oriented. A life coach is there to say they specialize in a particular area, whether it's personal finances, budgeting, mental wellness, thoughts transformation, okay, etc. And what they do is they draft up a plan that will work for you, and they are on your case, just like a sports coach, right? To get you in shape for the transformation you want. Okay. A real life coach is good at planning, organizing, listening to you more than they speak, help you make an assessment of where you are and where you want to get by a certain amount of time. They manage your expectations, and often a life coach will be somebody that will hold you highly accountable for the results. Okay, so they're not just training you, which is, we're not downplaying training, because I train as well, but a life coach will be in your life. Okay, all right, and usually they make you sign a contract allowing them to be in your life, and they're checking up on you weekly, bi-weekly, or whatever. Usually it's weekly, sometimes daily, if that's what you are paying for, and they're keeping you on the trajectory, making sure you stick to the plan. And so it's not the same as being a therapist. A therapist listens to you, try to figure out what's going on wrong with you, to diagnose you, and try to help you get to a sense of mental wellness. Okay, but a life coach is a goal achiever, a helper to help you achieve your goals. Okay. All right. So I believe everybody can benefit from a life coach. I have, and I don't regret it. Okay. And I became one because I have a passion to help people transform. Those of you watching who know my story and know that I came from a really horrible, well, I don't want to call it horrible, but it is what it is. Okay, a past of child abuse and molestation and neglect and drug abuse and addiction and sexual promiscuity and mental confusion and all of that type of stuff, daddy issues, you name it. Okay, being on the streets, you know being somebody that's been through all of that type of stuff and having that kind of past, right? When I finally broke free, I decided that I wanted to help people, okay, also break free. So I really have a passion and a heart for people being not just delivered but healed and transformed, right? And we're talking about transformation that will stick. Okay, so that's my grace, that's my passion. And so life coaching, the world of training and life coaching is an interesting world because you get to meet different kinds of people, and oftentimes you get challenges, even though I have a vetting process, right? Okay, so you're interviewed for me to see if you're the kind of client that meets the criteria of what I have to offer. So I don't just take any and anybody just because I want money, but it has to be that I have to offer what you need and I can help in any way, right? And so there's a vetting process. And so even after having a vetting process, or you still meet up with challenges, and I love that. I love the challenge of helping people and uncovering different situations and strategizing, and planning together with them, laugh with them, crying together with them, and going through that journey of growth and of transformation is a very rewarding job, to say the least. Okay, it's a highly rewarding job for me to do so, and it's not for everybody, but it is something that you have to be passionate about. You got to be passionate about seeing people move from one they come to you like in one level, and by the time you're done with them, whether and coaching usually is something that takes months. Okay, you usually would sit with a life coach. If it's personal coaching, is usually a minimum of 3 months to see any real growth. All right, but I also employ my coaching experience and expertise in group settings, right? So I also would employ that in group settings to try to get the hive mind or the group in a particular situation to think differently. Okay, so my whole type of coaching is about changing the way you think primarily. And that's where I spend the most time with my clients, challenging the way they think, challenging the way they see themselves, challenging their perceptions, challenging their preconceived notions about who they are and what can change and what cannot change. And so with me, that's what I offer and bring to the table as a life coach. Okay, so now I'm not going to be long. I want to also speak now to those of us who are in the church, because many people who belong to God's ecclesia listens to me and follows me on social media. And so I was just sharing with a friend earlier, that there's this misconceived notion in the church. Okay, and this is not just in St. Martin, but this is especially in the Western world, right, where the Church of Jesus Christ resides. There is, and especially in the Protestant evangelical arena, people in the church often don't understand the value of training and don't understand the value of coaching, right? And so oftentimes you would see persons like myself, okay, or who are coaches, etc. They would put out something for a training, right, or whatever, and oftentimes people would hardly register for that particular training. And I get it. I understand because I used to be that way too. It's like, okay, what are they going to teach me that I don't already know? But I found out that that's an arrogant way of thinking. Okay. Now, if 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 what they're offering is stuff you indeed already know, then fine. Okay. You don't need to go to every single training. But we have to be honest with ourselves. There are things as the body of Christ that we don't know, or we don't do well, or we're subpar, or we're mediocre at it. And we have people in the church that are equippers, mainly the fivefold ministry. Okay, I'm speaking churchanese right now. So those of you who are listening up to this point, if you're not in the church, maybe this don't apply to you. So I'm appealing to my brothers and sisters in the church, because in the world, they hire me. In the world, I give my clients the results and they're like blown away. In the world, I don't have this issue. I realize though, in the church, we, especially in St. Martin, but all over, we have a lack of understanding of what training does for us, why we need training in certain areas. Okay, why go to a praise and worship workshop intensive by qualified persons in the field? Why sign up for a um a prayer and intercessory training workshop or course? Why? Because many of us would say, yeah, but all of us could pray, all of us could intercede. It is a gift. And so we sum up a lot of things to just gifts. And so people would see someone like me, for instance, lead a people into worship through song or exhortation, and they like, wow, look at him, boy, look at Gino, boy. Why he just so anointed, he just so gifted. When he open up his mouth, boy, the heavens move. And so we sum it up to just being gifted and anointed, that we often don't realize, how did Gino get like that? Wow, has anybody taken to consider that maybe Gino was actually trained as a worshiper? So what you're experiencing, God is blowing on my training and enhancing my training, and so it yields results. But I had to pay a price for that. Whether I paid money or whether I paid a price in long hours of sitting under a particular mentor or trainer or teacher, right? A price was paid. You see what I'm saying? To be trained. Okay, no, you don't do this. Okay, when the spirit is moving this way, these are the signs and the marks that the spirit wants to bless the people in this way. This is the indication, because they have gone before. They understand. So now they're able to train and equip in how to move in the spirit as it relates to praise and worship. What about training in the prophetic? There's a lot of craziness happening with prophets, prophesiers, and all of that. Why is that happening? Because there's a lack of godly, excellent, professional, anointed training. You see all those adjectives? So they're professional, but they're also anointed. They're also excellent, because the Holy Spirit is the spirit of excellence. And they're also knowledgeable. So these are persons who live in God's prophetic, either by office or by a strong spirit of prophecy. Okay, but usually you want to get this kind of training from someone who has the office. Okay, and they are able to tell you different things about prophecy. these are the do and don'ts concerning prophecy. How are you going to know that? You need to be trained. A systemized mini training curriculum workshop that is able to give you that information and put you in a space where you can test it out. So the kind of trainer I am, I don't just come, there's people right here on St. Martin is happening, paying thousands, $5,000, $10,000 for training that is just information. That's not training. Forgive me if I am misunderstanding something. Okay. All right. It's an info session. Then call it an info session. Nothing is wrong with paying a lot of money for information. Nothing is wrong with that. But then call it an info session, or call it a group discussion, or call it a whatever, right? But training, the type of training I do, if I was to be training, for instance, in how to prophesy, I would be giving you a worksheet, a workbook that I construct systematically. I would be maybe using different media tools and devices. And then there's the practical component where I will demonstrate and then have different persons in the group, okay, that has paid for this training to actually do, practice, right? Because that's how you train, right? That's how you equip people. Because if they don't have a practical experiential component, then all they have is theory, and they really don't have a way of knowing to do something and how to do it. I've done workshops in prayer and intercession, okay, using the royal priesthood model, okay, and I train the people to how to see themselves as a priest, the components of the royal priesthood, for instance, and then I have them practicalize the teaching, how to decree a thing, how to declare the word of the Lord, how to actualize the effectual fervent prayer. What does that look like? So I actually have people practice these things and do the word of the Lord in the session, right? Creating a safe space. But these things are not for free. This is stuff that you can't take away. Pay enough for somebody training you. Okay, I'm getting somewhere with this conversation, right? What I have noticed then is, when you look at the church, especially, you're noticing, man, this person has the potential, but they need training. I can spot that. I could see when somebody is leading worship and there's no cookie cutter way necessarily, but there is a prescribed way in scripture. Okay. And I can tell sometimes when they don't know what they're doing. This is no shade or whatever, but you can tell sometimes where the Holy Spirit is moving and the praise and worship leader doesn't know what to do with the presence. They don't know how to engage this invisible presence of God. For instance, do you know that can be coached and trained? Yeah, right? How to flow in the realm of the spirit as a minstrel and as a musician, okay? How to hear the sound of the Lord. Do you know that can be trained? Yes. Okay. Being an intercessor, what are the prerequisites? What are the pitfalls, right? Because you might have the gift to pray, but not the character. So you're not confidential, or your heart isn't right. So when God shows you negative stuff about people, you internalize it and you start watching them a different way, even though God showed you that, not to judge them, but so that you can carry them in prayer effectively, right? But that has to be trained. What does that look like? How do I keep my soul from being tainted when God shows me things about a leader or my spouse or my children or a good friend that I look up to? How do I receive that information without changing my perspective about them? What, still keeping them in high esteem and honor? How to do it? That comes with training. Do you see? So there's a lot of mess and a lot of unfortunate mishaps happening in the local church setting because of a lack of training. And so I am so big and a big proponent of us training. And listen, I'm doing train right now. I'm doing a training course. And I've done all kind of training. I've done a training course on emotional intelligence, for instance. I'm doing one right now more on communication, because I want to learn how to be a better communicator to my wife, to my children, to my community, to my clients. When God opens the door for international clients, I need to be able to communicate effectively. You see, so I'm always learning. A good trainer and a good life coach is a forever student. Okay, you're always looking to better your craft and learn how to be a better person in what you do. Okay, so a lot of people are fascinated by a project, and then people are fascinated by how did you get those results with this kind of people, right? They're like, well, how you manage to do that? And that comes from my years of experience, not just my training, my years of experience, my ability as an empath. Okay, this is something that, always been somebody who, tends to feel other people out, right? My ability to be empathic, my ability to quickly discern what's happening around me and to read the room. You see what I'm saying? These are things that I would employ when, I'm training and I'm teaching and I'm coaching, right? But a coach is somebody that you can really. I remember coaching this client, and we had X amount of time to finish the coaching. Let's say it was set at 9 weeks, right? By week 6 or week 7, I kid you not, this particular person just excelled to the point where they were like, I'm still paying you the same money, but I don't need the extra weeks, because of how much, results that they get. But in order to benefit from life coaching and training, you as the recipient, the trainee and the coachee, you got to be open. You have to be hungry. You have to be willing to learn, and you will get the results. And so this is why I call myself a transformational coach, because you started out as a caterpillar, and by the time I'm done with you, if you cooperate with me, you're going to be that butterfly. Okay. And that's one of the benefits I love about life coaching. You know what I'm saying? And so I love it so much. And I'm sharing this today, coming out of the closet, so to speak, with my business. Excellent. You look out for more from me. I'm gonna have this conversation a little bit more leading up to some trainings. I do have to consult with my you know those in charge of me spiritually, and otherwise, to further the projects that are coming up. I have them lined up in my repertoire to bring out. And so I'm going to work out those logistics, but I'm going to continue having these little conversations up until those points. We're going to see. We're going to see. And like I said to the ecclesia, I'm appealing to you. I'm appealing to you, right? Not everybody is your fit. Okay, there's a grace that everybody has for certain people. However, Those who have followed me since 2020 on social media, on Facebook until now, you can go on my YouTube channel, The Royal Exchange TV, and you can look at some of my playlists. You will see my teaching style. You will see what I bring to the table. Those of you who understand that, if that is what matches you, if the grace on my life makes your baby leap, then look out for some upcoming workshops, okay, on different items. For instance, how to vet a prophecy. How do I know if a prophecy is real or fake? I can show you how, and I can teach you how how to how to manifest your prophecy, how to wage a good warfare to bring the prophetic word to pass. If we vetted the word and we know it's from God, what do I have to do step by step with the Holy Spirit in order to make that word a reality? I've lived it. Okay, excellent you, transformational coaching and consultancy is a result of a prophetic word. Okay, it's a prophecy that I waged a good warfare to fulfill. The coaching and the business I'm doing now with the clients I'm doing it with was a prophecy, but I had to wage war for the prophecy to come to pass. Even my marriage of 16, 17 years this year was a prophecy and a vision that God gave me when I wasn't thinking about getting married or having a child years ago. So I know what it's like to walk in fulfilled prophecy. So I can teach you that. I can show you how to find out if a prophecy is from God or not, and then what actions to take to make it become a reality. Okay? I can, and so look out for workshops in these areas. Prayer and intercession. Okay, there are various kinds of prayer. How do I know what kind of prayer to engage in for what moment? Okay, discernment, discerning the spirit, discerning of spirits. How do I know if my feelings are mine or if it's a spirit waging war against my soul? And then how do I identify that spirit? And lastly, how do I deal with it? I can teach you that. I've lived that. You see what I'm saying? Deliverance. How do I do self deliverance that will benefit me for real, right? I've had to do that as well, right? I can teach you that, and I can train you in that area. I'm talking to the ecclesia. So there are a myriad self discipline, right? How do I walk in the last fruit of the spirit, which is temperance, which is self-discipline or self-mastery, self-control? What is that? The journey to that, right? Gino, I need a step-by-step guide on how I can be more self-disciplined with my eating, with my time, with my prayer life. I can train you in that. I can coach you in that. I can teach you that, because this is something I live. You see what I'm saying? I myself am the tried and tested product. Let me say that again. I myself am the tried and tested product. So I'm not just taking stuff from a book and teaching it to you, but I'm telling you I was my own guinea pig. So I know what I teach works. I say that with all confidence. Don't mistake it for arrogance. Okay? I say that with godly confidence. I know what I teach works because I live it and I have lived it. All right. Lastly, a good life coach and trainer, right? A good one, an excellent one. Let me say it like this: an excellent life coach and trainer, right, does not train and coach in areas that they themselves have not experienced or live. A good one might, because they have the gift of teaching. But to shine in this business and really make a real great impact, oftentimes you pay the price with your life experiences and how you overcame those things. And this is part of what makes me so effective as a life coach and a trainer. I don't touch topics that I have not overcome. I don't train. Even though I can, I refuse, because people can feel when you are speaking something that you live. People can feel when you're connected to some, it comes off differently. And this is why I get results, because I don't train and teach in a lane that I don't drive in, right? And so I just wanted to share my world of training and life coaching. Once again, I am the founder and CEO of Excellent You, X-CELLENTYOU, and it is a transformational life coaching and consultancy business. And that's what I do right now. And look out for more from me in the future to come. Anyway, that's what I had to share with us today. We're going to continue this conversation of my world of training and life coaching on a next issue at hand. Got so much of shows and segments going on. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.